Hey everybody, my name is Elvis, and you're watching Joan of Our House. And I've been gone. uh, I feel like that's like my common thing that's going on with these videos. I am very much late, and I know I said that in the last episode, but this time I mean it. I am an entire month late. Um, so to compensate, I'm going to try to talk about all the movies I saw in November. If not, split it up in two parts. And I gotta say, I watched, I think, 35 movies in November. Alright, let me back up. Hey, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Elvis, and you're watching Joan of Our House, and I'm on a journey to watch 365 movies in 365 days. And today we're going to be talking about all of November and all the movies I saw in it, what I thought, and what I liked. So I'm still riding off of the wave of Halloween and October and all the spooky horror vibes. These first couple of movies are horror movies, and some of them are from TikTok and just from friends and family members. Let's start talking about movies. The first movie that I saw in November was Brightburn. It's not here to save the world. What if a child from another world crash landed on Earth, but instead of becoming a hero to mankind, he proved to be something far more sinister? So, this movie came out back in 2019, and I wish I would have seen it when it first came out because I think I would have liked it more at that age, at that mindset that I was in, than where I'm at now. Alright, so in this movie, we follow this kid who very much has the same origin story as Superman, crash landed from a world and was raised by these two people who couldn't have children, and they're like in a kind of farmhouse kind of style countryside. That didn't make any sense. I don't know how I feel about this movie. I wanted to like it, and in some kind of degree, it is cool. It is fun, but like this, if I wanted to watch a movie or a show that had this kind of like what if um situation, I would have just watched What If by Marvel, or read a comic, or just even imagined it. And for this movie to be made and done on the basis of what if, it's a cheap sell to this movie, and I'm not really liking it. I do gotta say, the gore scenes, the graphic scenes, and like all the kind of straight up psychotic vibes that this kid has, fucking weird. Um, but man, it is pretty cool in that sense. From the trailer, there's a scene where the kid runs or flies into this waitress lady, and it's like, oh my god, that was scary. I don't really know what else to say about this movie. Let's go to the next one. The next movie that I saw was Idle Hands, the touching story of a boy and his right hand. Anton is a cheerful but exceedingly non ambitious 17-year-old stoner who lives to stay buzzed, watch TV, and moon over Molly, the beautiful girl who lives next door. However, it turns out that the old cliche about idle hands being the devil's playground has a kernel of truth after all. Rosalia, if you're watching, hey, you're the one that told me to watch this movie from the TikTok video that I made. I have a thing about like stoner movies. I think they're just so lame, they're so boring, they're so cheesy, they're so corny, they're so terribly made, they're so fucking boring, really. But this is not that movie. This movie is so damn fun to watch, dude. I like this movie a lot more than I thought I was. It is still a stoner movie, but this is a very good stoner movie, if that makes sense. I was a little worried it was going to be an over the top raunchy movie, but it wasn't. It was just enough to bear. Seth Green's character and the other guy, the guy that gets his head cut off, they were so cool in this movie. So Devin Sawa, who plays Anton, Seth Green, who plays Mick, Eldon Henson, who plays Nub, and Jessica Alba, who plays Molly. I mean, very star-studded cast. If you're thinking like star-studded, like who is this guy? Eldon Henson, the guy who plays Nub. That's the dude from the lawyer friend from Daredevil. I thought this movie was really fun. Nub and Mick, dude, they were the funniest dudes in this. And like Anton, the way that he can like project this like fear and anxiety in his face is amazing. And yeah, this is really fun. Actually, I think if you're a fan of like Halloween Town or like Goosebumps, I don't even really know what else to compare this to. The practical effects in this is really good. It's really fun, and yeah, it's admirable. Damn, it's a big little word.
That's a big word for Elmo.
The next movie that I saw was The Wolfman. When the moon is full, the legend comes to life. Lawrence Talbot, an American man on a visit to Victorian London to make amends with his estranged father, gets bitten by a werewolf and, after a moonlight transformation, leaves him with a savage hunger for flesh. I saw this in theaters as a kid and it really scared me. Watching it now, I see its flaws and it was a little boring, maybe. But the hospital examination scene was maybe the best. Scene. The CGI hasn't aged well, but man, what a transformation! It was so good. The Wolfman suits were really cool. I don't have too much to say about this movie, other than I saw like a little clip of the director talking about how they had planned a practical effects transformation, and they were all for it. They were all in it, and they didn't have the money for it, and all that dreams came crashing down, and they had to do it CGI. They took a lot of time in it, and you can tell that there was a lot of love into that scene, and you can really see the vision, and it is probably the coolest scene. I am thinking about the wolf suits and how like kind of clunky and like big they were, but it was still cool. The ending was okay. The story is whatever, man. It's fine. It's fine. The next movie that I saw was As Above, So Below. The only way out is down. When a team of explorers ventures into the uncharted maze of bones that lie beneath the streets of Paris, they embark on a journey into madness and terror. Tasia, if you're watching, hey, long time no see. You're the one that had recommended me this movie, and I had already said that I watched it. It's one of my favorites, and I don't care. I watched it again. So when I first saw this, I saw this in theaters. It scared the heck out of me. But when I first saw this, I was really believing that this was like a found footage, and that this was like real in a sense. After watching it again, I could really tell that that the mockumentary style just wore off on me, and now I'm really seeing them as like they are as actors and whatnot. Damn, it's a little rough. But Scarlett was getting on my nerves during that claustrophobia scene where they're going into the tunnels at first, like where they have to crawl through the bones and femurs and whatnot. It's the camera guy, the guy with the blue shirt. But the cave starts collapsing on him and it starts squeezing him just so little, and it was making my claustrophobia like really amp up and make me nervous, and I'm already getting affected by it right now. But Scarlett just talking, screaming, "It's okay, just breathe, it's fine, just think clearly, just take a deep breath," and just the way she was kept talking while I myself was feeling overstimulated, while the guy was feeling overstimulated. He drove me up a wall. Oh my god, I was going crazy.
I'm stuck.
No, just
I'm
move.
stuck. I can't breathe.
Just breathe with me, please.
What was that?
Finally rubbing off the horror movies off of me. The next movie that I saw was Taking Chance. When one falls, another brings him home. Lieutenant Colonel Michael Strobel, a volunteer military escort, accompanies the body of Lance Corporal Chance Phelps to his hometown in Wyoming. I was scrolling through like Instagram or Facebook or something like that and came across a movie clip that was just so interesting that I needed to watch it. So I watched it. I liked it. Whether it been good or not, this is exactly what happened here with the movie Taking Chance. There's a burden through this whole movie that all of this sucks, and it's sad to see someone die, let alone follow them to the grave, as they are taking care of them, cleaning them, and delivering them to their final resting place. And it hits you all at the end that this isn't a burden, but an honor to bring someone back home. Kevin Bacon is subtle in this movie, and everything else is designed to make you cry and feel, but Phelps is the true messenger for the story. While I was watching this movie, I cried. Man, propaganda is good on this movie. I really felt like this kind of USA kind of feeling in this movie, and I was starting to feel it. I was like, God dang, this is so good. But then it kind of comes to the end, and you're like, yeah, that was a really good movie. But at the same time, what the hell are we doing in Afghanistan? What the hell are we doing in the Middle East? That's besides the point. This movie ends, and Private First Class Phelps really kind of delivers the message of why this whole movie is taking place, why any of this is happening. And it's like, wow, that was really good. The next movie that I saw was Vampire. Going back into the horror movies, The Strange Adventure of Alan Gray. A superstitious drifter stumbles upon an inn where a severely ill adolescent girl is slowly becoming a vampire. This movie is cool. This movie was made in 1932.
Damn!
Oh, fun fact about this movie. This movie was destroyed, ripped to shreds, burned to pieces, burned to ash. Germany still had some bits and pieces. France had some bits and pieces. And together they came together to rebuild and re-edit this movie and make it whole together. So without the collaboration of Germany and France, we wouldn't have had this movie. This movie would have been absolutely gone. Just because of that, that's fucking cool. This may not be the most clear movie, and its destruction and rebuild with parts from Paris and originally from Germany, so I can't be too harsh on it, but the parts that I was able to really watch were very impressive for the 1930s movie, where nearly every movie was flat and had little to no motion. This movie, without a hesitation, had experiments of shadow play, double exposure, canted camera angles, upside down shots, and that is amazing. This was a very fun movie to watch. I thought I'd see the Scythe guy more, but nah, he wasn't there for long. And the funeral scene was so good and confusing. Maybe those two words shouldn't go together. I don't know. But I don't trust that doctor. I guess this movie needs a little bit more clarification. This guy shows up in the middle of a town who is more of a person who is entranced, curious, and interested into of the macabre, the ghost, the spooky stuff. He's just like me for real. When there was a doctor there who was taking care of this adolescent girl who was severely sick, and just like in every kind of vampire movie, she has the two marks on her neck. Ooh, that is freaky. This movie, I mean, this story is incredibly simple. It's very plain, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But the way that it's told via camera, that is where this movie shines. If you're a person who is into camera work, camera play, or just a composition, this would be a very interesting movie for you. Me being a camera nerd, I instantly knew and recognized all of the movements, angles that they were using, and for its time and age, for a film made in 1930, when Citizen Kane was made in. Oh my god. The Citizen Kane movie was made in 1941, 10 years before this Citizen Kane movie revolutionized film and camera and cinematography. This movie was doing it before. Isn't that amazing? Maybe I'm just nerding out. Let's go to the next movie. The next movie that I saw was Frankenstein. Holy monsters play God. A brilliant but egotistical scientist brings a creature to life with a monstrous experiment that ultimately leads to the undoing of both the creator and his tragic creation. This is amazing. I got to go to a Q&A with Guillermo del Toro. I'll put photos up, maybe videos. Dude, I'm telling you, I was so close to asking Guillermo a question when we ran out of time and I couldn't ask a question. Oh my god. Dude, I was so close. I was so close.
Well, I tell you, he changed my life. I wanted to do Kronos. When I was growing up, there was no festival for Mexican film, so we made one. Now it's in its 40-something year. It's still going on. There was no film school. We made one. It's still going on strong right now. And there was no makeup effects, so I said, okay, if I want to do Kronos, I got to learn makeup effects.
I digress. God dang. So I saw this movie in theaters at the Landmark Mayan Theater, which was fucking superb. Dude, this theater is so pretty. It's so cool. And to watch this amazing movie in that theater, oh my god, it was so good. I did go on a date with Nicole, my baby. Hey, baby. And we had a great time. The seats were very uncomfortable, but man, oh man, this movie was so cool. Hands are such an incredible thing to convey emotion and gestures and sentiments of any degree, and when those hands create not an evil but birth regret, harm, violence, you get Frankenstein's monster. This is such a good movie. I really liked it, but the lens choice was bothering me nearly the whole time. Why such a smaller lens? So me being the nerd, the camera nerd that I am, I learned that this movie was shot using an Arri 24 mil. Think about your camera, or more specifically your iPhone camera. The 1 to 1.2, maybe 1.5. That is about maybe like a 25, maybe 30 mil. But when you use the 0.5, that brings it down to like maybe a 15 lens. And so, all right, now we're both speaking the same language. When you go into that zero point 0.5, it like stretches and warps the surrounding area to capture that amount of subject. Do this with your camera. Go on to zero point 0.5 if you can. And do you see how little the details start to become towards the center? And poke your hand out. Poke your hand out just like this. Do you see how little your hand is? And then how exponentially bigger your hand becomes as it gets closer to the lens? That bothered me throughout the entire time of the movie. I can tell that they're using a smaller lens, and I can tell that things aren't looking so right, and it was bothering the hell out of me. Or maybe I'm just making a fuss. Oscar Isaac is amazing in this. Jacob Elordi is amazing in this. I wish I would have seen more of Mia Goth. I really liked her character. I wanted more from her character, and yeah, I wanted more of this movie. That's fine. The next movie that I saw was Porco Rosso. In Italy, in the 1930s, sky pirates in biplanes terrorize wealthy cruise ships as they sail in the Adriatic Sea. The only pilot brave enough to stop the scourge is the mysterious Porco Rosso, a former World War I flying ace who has somehow turned into a pig during the war. As he prepares to battle the pirates' crew's American ace, Porco Rosso enlists the help of spunky girl mechanic Fio Piccolo and his longtime friend Madame Gina. So this is the first time I saw this movie, and I gotta say, this movie is underrated and overlooked, at least in my perspective. I love the airplanes in this. I love the dogfights. I love the Morse code that they use, and or the hand signs that they were using. I really like the fight between the American and the Italians. Very cool. I wish I felt the romance more, but it was more poetic longing than romance. Not the same, I swear. Michael Keaton was an odd choice for me. His voice, in my opinion, didn't really fit the Porco Rosso character. I actually came across a Reddit thread about Studio Ghibli and how there needs to be a redubbing, which I didn't know was a thing. But now with that idea in mind, I think a lot of these movies could use a redubbing. But that's besides the point. Dude, I love airplanes. I love jets. I love like the dog fights that they're doing. I love like the signals that they were trying to do. Oh my god, yeah, this is so cool. I always see the kind of like meme or clip of this movie. It's like, better to be a pig than a fascist. And that's damn right. That is damn right. This movie was really cool. I mean, it's a Studio Ghibli movie, so how could you not like it, you know? The next movie that I saw was A Better Tomorrow. Brothers by blood, enemies by chance, killers by nature. A reforming ex-gangster tries to reconcile with his estranged policeman brother, but the ties to his former gang are difficult to break. God dang, dude. Johnny Woo does it again. Dude, this movie is so cool. I love Johnny Woo's directing style. It's just a touch of Michael Bay, just the right amount of amazing action with all of the fucking style that you can put on a movie. This movie is so cool. I Dude, this movie is so cool, dude. Um, Damn, dude, I'm thinking about it already. I'm already getting hyped. Maybe not as cool as The Killer, but there's so much style in this, from the music cues, the bromance, the way Chow Yun Fat shoots without looking. It maybe just has so much sauce. There's a scene where he places guns throughout the hall while pretending to be drunk with a woman, and to see those same guns used, it's so perfect. Dude, Chow Yun Fat, he's got sunglasses, he's got his trench coat, he's got his akimbo style Berettas. Oh my god, this movie is so cool. So they were doing like a little heist, and they needed to get into this room to shoot out whatever. And so he plays drunk. He's like walking down the hall, he's stumbling, he's like, oh no, oh, we're having so much fun. And he would like take out a gun and put it in a plant of a tree, and they would like, oh god, oh man, I just, oh jeez. And like he just kept doing that throughout the entire hall, and he went on to do his thing, and he would come back and do his shootout, get out, jump into that like flower pot, use that same gun, and like, dude, this guy had backups on backups. Oh dude, this is so cool. Oh my god, I really like this movie. The next movie that I saw was A Better Tomorrow 2. A restaurateur teams up with the police officer and his ex-con brother to avenge the death of a friend's daughter. They're back at it again. Dude, everybody in this movie looks like a bunch of like dads, and this is kind of like how I'm imagining my dad or your dad, or for anything. I don't know, but this movie is cool. And I think this is what I mean when an action movie can be senseless violence and action. Johnny Woo delivered the first movie with motivation and high stakes. There's a reason to this action, and I can see why they do what they do. With this one being a sequel, I felt like it was just doing the action again just to do it, with a weaker plot that wouldn't make sense with the context of the first one, especially the ending of the first. It just feels like a weaker way to keep the action going. Chow Yun Fat doing that thumbs up is the best. I don't really know what else to say about this movie. This was like a copy and paste of the first movie, which is fine, but they didn't even try to like change anything up in this movie. It is still very cool, but I just saw the first one, and the second one was just too similar to the first one that it was just alright. Still cool, just alright. The next movie that I saw was A Better Tomorrow 3. Love and Death in Saigon. The year is 1974. So this is a prequel to the first one. A young Hong Kong Chinese, Mark, travels to Saigon to make his fortune. There, he encounters a mysterious femme fatale, the lovely Kit. As he becomes more involved in her various underworld deals, a tragic romance develops. On the eve of the outbreak of war, Kit's past returns to endanger her, and Mark must risk everything for the one true love of his life. So if you like the first one, you're gonna love the third one. The third one is a prequel, and it just has the recipe to how, why, and what makes Chow Yun Fat's character so damn cool. I can't say too much about this. I can say that this is a prequel, and it doesn't take place in Hong Kong. This takes place in Vietnam during the war. The deals that Kit was making, and how they kind of like put her deeper and deeper into problems, while Chow Yun Fat's character is madly in love and is still learning the ways of how to be a badass. Dude, I gotta say, I think there's like a montage scene where Kit and Chow Yun Fat's character, they're going out shopping, and she buys him the trench coat, and it is like, it's the coolest trench coat, and she is the one that gives it to him, and he was the one that's been wearing this for the past like 10 years or so. And I mean, he was already smoking beforehand, but they go to this little market, and she gives him glasses, and it's the glasses, and he puts them on, and he's like, how do I like it? I'm like, how do you like it? And that's where everything clicks, and that's where you see the coolest person you've seen in this series. And oh my god, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a superhero putting on their uniform, and it's like, yup, we are at 100% now. It's just so cool. It's so cool. Definitely a dad movie. So if your dad is into like Hong Kong action movies, dude, this is right up his alley, because it's right up my alley.
我有自己嘅原則，我就唔想成世俾人撳住嚟打。你好中意同人慳咩？我衰咗3年，我等一個機會，爭翻口氣，唔係要證明話俾人聽我威，只係想話俾人聽我唔見咗嘅嘢，我想自己攞翻。
The next movie that I saw was Poison. These are the short films that Wes Anderson made with Netflix, so I'm going to be running through these very quickly. When a poisonous snake slithers onto Englishman's stomach in India, his associate and a doctor race to save him. These shorts are just okay, but I'm just so much more impressed with production, acting, than I am with the actual story. Dev Patel is amazing in this movie. The amount of rehearsing, the amount of like lines memorized, the pacing, the expression, the emergency to his lines, fucking amazing. And for him to carry that on for, how long was this? For 17 minutes straight, that is really impressive. The next movie that I saw was The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. A rich man learns about the guru who can see without using his eyes. He sets out to master the skill in order to cheat at gambling. Again, more technically impressive than anything else. My favorite one so far of the Roald Dahl stories. It's really a remarkably entertaining story. I was a lot more interested in the story of the Indian guy and his journey to really find and study the meditation technique on how to see with your eyes closed. I was a lot more interested in that story than Henry Sugar. Only until about the end. Then it got really good. The next movie that I saw was The Rat Catcher. In an English village, a reporter and a mechanic listen to a rat catcher explain his clever plan to outwit his prey. Yo, he did that to a rat? If you've seen this, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, whatever you think is going to happen, it's not what you think is actually going to happen. I was not prepared, and all of that caught me off guard. And I gotta say, Ralph Fiennes, the Rat Man. He is so damn good in this movie. I don't know what to say. Very quickly, the last movie that I saw, at least in this first half of November, was The Swan. two large, ignorant bullies ruthlessly pursue a small, brilliant boy in this young adult Roald Dahl short story. I mean, again, this movie is so damn interesting. With it being based on a true story, this was the wildest one yet. Oh my god. Oh my god. If you've seen this short story, holy hell. Other than that, once again, with all of these Wes Anderson short stories, I am more impressed on the technical aspect of this than the actual story. Although they are very interesting, weird stories, it not only takes the cake, but it's the most intriguing one since it's based on a true story, supposedly from the journals of Roald Dahl. Amazing. I don't have much to say anymore. I am tired. My voice is going out. I am thirsty. I'm tired. And I want to go to sleep. This was part 1 of all of the movies I saw in November. And I'll see you guys as soon as I can when I can get part 2 out and get this edited. I still have work to do, and I will see you guys in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Elvis, and you're watching Joan of Our House, and I'll see you soon. All right. All right. This isn't. I mean, it's. This isn't a spoiler.